Hi, my name is Justin Maina, and welcome to Maina Traction. It's a podcast all about overcoming fear in your life, and this is a very spontaneous podcast. I just wanted to tune in just to kind of share my thoughts about the journey through the unknowns of life. So one of my friends actually said that you should not be afraid of an unknown future to a known God, and I think part of that is accepting that there are going to be many times in life where even though there are many distractions in life with phones, with friends, with things to look at, the list goes on and on. There are many distractions, but there are times that you are going to be forced to be alone. And I think a lot of people are afraid of that. And if you're afraid of that, you're going to naturally be afraid of the unknowns of life, which is inevitable. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that, what that looks like, and just kind of open up about some random thoughts. This is a very impromptu podcast. This podcast will usually involve me interviewing people, kind of getting to know their story and their walks with what they're pursuing in life and seeing how God fits into that equation, if at all. But I know for myself, I have learned to overcome a lot of fear in my life by trusting God. It's through a relationship with Jesus, and that takes time, just like it takes time in anything. The grass is not always greener on the other side. It takes time to pursue that foundation, and I think a lot of people are afraid of the unknown and being alone. And the fact is, we are not alone. It's just we are not used to knowing what that's like. Even the other day, I was challenged to go for a run, but without headphones. I wouldn't run with these headphones, of course, but I wanted to run without headphones because I was just constantly used to hearing things while I was running, and I wanted to shut my mind off just to focus on the beauty around me. So another thing that I want to challenge you with is to be alone and see how you feel in that situation. I think in those situations, it can expose a lot about yourself, and if you struggle with it, make that an opportunity for prayer. Call it prayer, because whenever you're talking to God, it doesn't matter any formality. As long as you're just asking God and sharing what's on your heart, He's listening because He wants a relationship with you. So anyway, I want to get right into two different types of people. One type of person I grew up like, and the other type of person is the person that I'm trying to develop daily into. So the first type of person is somebody who is afraid of failure. And the other type of person is the one who wants to achieve excellence. So the first type of person, first let me back up. Let's say you have both of these different types of people, the one who fears failure and the other type of person who wants to achieve excellence. Take these two people side by side and give them the challenge of taking a ring and throwing it onto a pole that's sticking out of the ground. The person who fears failure, I believe, will go right up to that pole and drop the ring, and that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Whereas the person who wants to achieve excellence, they will take that ring and, just like the person who fears failure, will drop that onto the pole. But I believe that person who wants to achieve excellence will gradually step further and further away from that pole and to challenge themselves to see how far they can go with achieving the same goal, taking that ring and throwing it onto that pole. And that involves the risk of failure. And risking failure does not have to, fearing failure is not a negative thing. It's part of the journey of life. And if you just work hard towards something, you're going to mess up. It's part of the journey. You're going to learn from it. You're going to learn to be courageous through that. And it's going to inspire other people. And starting this podcast is very much a scary thing for me because I'm afraid of a lot of things that can go wrong, like other people texting, which is why I was leaning in here. I put my phone on silent, and my laptop is still getting text messages in, which is distracting for me, but I am not going to redo this. I want to be vulnerable on this podcast for you guys to see what it's like for somebody to go through a journey and not be absolutely perfect. Being a musician, I grew up being a musician, and it taught me to have things down very perfect. If you're not perfect, you're not going to be in many bands. You're not going to get praise. So I had to work a lot of times for my affirmation growing up, and I realized that is very opposite of our relationship with Jesus. So there's a lot on my mind right now, but I just wanted to share how and encourage you to step outside your comfort zone, see what it's like being alone, and if you're not comfortable with it, dig in and challenge yourself to be stronger than you are today. So I want to leave you with this one challenge. and it involves doing something that you're physically not going to want to do. And this is something I did for myself, and I'm just sharing it with you. You don't have to do this, but this will get you into the mind of what Justin Maina thinks of from time to time. So I challenged myself about 6 days ago to take a cold shower. And on day 2, I just told a friend about it, and he decided that he was going to do it. So I thought I'm going to do it for a second day. And then the third day came around. I thought I'm going to do it 3 days in a row. By the fourth day, it became easier. The fifth day, it was a lot easier. And on the sixth day, which was yesterday, I realized that I had a shoot that was already pre-planned, but it involved me being out on the water. The morning was in the 40s, and we were in the 50s all day, and it was freezing. And I had to be in a bathing suit for this campaign. And I believe I was way more mentally prepared for it than I would have been if I didn't take on this silly challenge. But the fact is, I love challenging myself. And, people may call me crazy, but I want to be the best I can be in life. And I want to be able to take on challenges and the unknown fearlessly. And it's not that I do it fearlessly. I do it very much afraid. It's just I trust that Jesus is there with me and that he's got a plan for my life. And anyway, I just wanted to share these things with you. Thanks for tuning in and watching me be as vulnerable as I can be on certain topics. But in the future, I look forward to interviewing people and talking to them about what they're pursuing in life, how they've overcome certain types of fear, see if God's in the equation or not. But regardless, everyone has a story, and that story doesn't have to be the perfect story. The cool thing is that there's a specific journey that all of us have to follow, and it's very special for it to be unknown, because that's what makes life interesting. I think it would be very boring to have a life that is already pre-planned. So anyway, today is your choice. Today you have a choice to be able to make today or tonight very different. So challenge yourself to do something and let me know about it.